Plaga de Mil Pelos, Plague of 1,000 Hairs. Gory looking to Efectando El Mundo.
Team number 1 hails from Port Tampa, Florida, at a combined weight of 601 pounds. Leo Brien and Michael Patrick, the Dirty Blondes. Their opponents, introducing first, 175 pounds, the New Age Plague, Gory. His partner, 205 pounds, the Spasmanian Devil, Andrew Palace.
Well, Andrew Palace and Gory are very animated, very in-your-face type personalities. How do you think they're going to get along? How do you think they're going to be able to coexist? I've seen them on opposite sides of the ring here in the general area, but never as a team.
I honestly have no idea. It's like saying what wins when you combine Absolute Light with Vanta Black. They're both very animated, but both from different animation studios, if you know what I mean.
Dirty Blondes on the outside, trained extensively under Steve Kern. And certainly when you talk about the tag team history of this industry, Steve Kern's history as part of Fabulous Ones, as part of just dominating the Florida territory for so many years. Certainly he has instilled a lot of old school tag team knowledge in the Dirty Blondes.
And it looked like Andrew Palace wanted to rock, paper, scissors for who goes first, and Gory had none of that and just left the ring.
Yeah, Gory's not exactly a lighthearted jokester, is he?
No, I can't imagine him, laughing. At least not without having first kicked a puppy.
Fair enough. Gory is bloodthirsty. That's what drives him. That's what motivates him. Andrew Palace is motivated by having a good time. He wants to be somebody that accentuates the fun side of professional wrestling. And he's always out looking to entertain the kids, run around the ring. Just a ball of energy no matter where he goes and what he does.
Right now he sat for a moment. And there we go. We have a bell.
Dirty Blondes have traveled throughout the United States and Puerto Rico as well. They've been teaming over the past 4 years. You talk about that old school nature. They've had a rivalry over the months with the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky and Robert. They've been managed in many areas by the one and only Colonel Robert Parker. So the Dirty Blondes are almost a throwback to a bygone era of tag team wrestling.
I would say so if they're wrestling the Rock and Rolls and they're managed by Colonel Tom.
Colonel Rob Parker.
Colonel Rob, I thought it was Tom Parker.
That's somebody else.
Oh, my mistake.
And we could have a good old-fashioned chest shaving here at Lucha Fiesta.
Is this a Lucha Day place?
I don't believe it is, no. I mean, Jayworth, how many times have you had a party and just randomly somebody gets shaved in the middle of it? It happens.
I mean, 2 or 3.
It's Palace looking to start out with Michael Patrick, by the looks of things.
Yep. Celebratory hug.
Celebratory? I haven't done anything yet.
We're celebrating their tag team.
Okay.
They made it this far, Joe.
They have made it this far, but there's a lot more to go. I promise you.
And there's a snow angel?
Yeah, I think Palace is getting a little bored.
Without the snow.
The Blondes are doing a great job of stunting the momentum of Palace and Gory, making them wait, making them go at the Dirty Blondes' pace.
Which, apparently an issue with the crowd. And this all works to throw Andrew Palace off his game. He is normally just a hyperkinetic Super Ball in the ring, and this is him playing their game right now.
Yeah, the Dirty Blondes, they want to slow it down. They want to dictate that pace. They want a slow tempo. They want to keep Palace under control and in their grasp. As the ambiance sets in here at Lucha Fiesta, the sun begins to set, clouds begin to roll in, but we got a lot more action still to go, Jay-Worth.
Yeah, and right now we have Andrew Palace with a good, strong armbar, held with a wrist lock. Oh, and reversed round.
And again, this is from the textbook of the Dirty Blondes 101. And Palace reversing things and using the momentum to take Patrick down.
And there's the energy we're used to seeing out of Palace.
You know, they say, Jayworth, that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so Palace still has it in there somewhere.
Only transferred.
There you go.
And I think he'd love to transfer a little of it to either of the Dirty Blondes.
Maybe he could transfer some to Gory.
I feel like, I don't know who that would hurt more.
I notice again, the Blondes making Palace think about it. What do you think was it about Steve Keirn that made him such a proficient tag team wrestler in his day?
Top of my head, I would say I mean, honestly, he was a product of his time. It's saying what you would say, like, oh, well, what made him great today, or what made him great then, is not necessarily what would have made him great today. It was his training, it was his conditioning, it was the up and down the road of learning the craft night in, night out that gave him the experience to become the star that he was.
Well, and just imagine those decades of knowledge being passed on to the next generation. Of course, Keirn spent some time training at NXT for a number of years.
Yes.
Somebody who's helped develop and has been a mind that has mentored most of the young stars we see on television today. And the Blondes are right there with it. Patrick, a 15-year veteran. Brien, a little less experienced. But again, 4 years together compared to Palace and Gory a couple hours together.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely know each other, but as far as a tag team together, which is better than, two strangers. There's a slight advantage to it.
Test of strength cinched in here. You got to give the advantage on paper to Patrick as Gory slips in, gets a shot in.
Reminiscent of Alien.
There you go. I think Gory would take that as a compliment.
I think Gory would take it as inspiration. If he could have gone through Palace's chest to do it, he probably would have.
Patrick gets dropped to his knees, but Palace can only hang so long with the advantage of the test of strength. Again, the mass and the height of Patrick comes into play. Oh! And Palace, as Leo Brien trying to do the same, Palace countered, and let's say Brien and Patrick maybe hit head-to-head in a manner of speaking.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that.
I did say that.
As a matter of fact, you did.
Quite well, I might add.
It was well said. And now, Andrew Palace, I don't know if you knew this, but included with your ticket tonight was an additional ticket to the gun show.
There you go. And Palace, every time we see him here in the area, gets in better and better shape. Gory has...
Wait, Gory's laughing at two people that got hit in the crotchular area.
To be fair, Gory usually does find pleasure when other people are suffering.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the Blondes may have taken their first unofficial timeout.
Is this 20 second?
No, I need you. Come here. You speak Spanish. Whatever.
Okay. I need you to tell these people, as a matter of fact, tell these stinky Puerto Ricans that if they don't stop laughing at us, we're getting in our car and going back to Florida. Can you translate that for us? On delay, delay.
Él dice que es Puerto Rico.
See, the mic doesn't even want to say it.
Yeah, puertorriqueños. Y él tiene, he's very sorry por micro pene. Por su micro pene.
Well, I think we got the gist of it at the end there.
I'm not sure how word for word the Gertner translation was, but I think it worked for the most.
There may have been some poetic license.
Yeah, you know. Some things get lost in translation, and that's okay.
And some things are found in translation.
There you have it. As Gory and Palace find their opposition, they send Patrick into there. Here comes Leo Brien, and there will be no early trip back to Florida as the matchup continues.
Reversal.
Double Enziguri kick, and the Blondes once again are reeling. See some double team chemistry from Palace and Gory. Up and over the assisted moonsault. 2 count only.
And now Gory in his own corner. Oh, and a rake to the back.
And that's Gory's MO. It's not necessarily about flash all the time. It's about suffering. It's about watching your opponent writhe in pain as Palace raking their chest, ripping out some of that hair. I don't know if Palace.
There we go.
I don't know if Palace wants to start a follicle war out there.
Yeah. Death of 1,000 haircuts, so to speak.
Fair enough.
After a rake to the eyes, Palace back on top. I can't understand a word he's saying.
And Palace really with no official experience in the lucha genre, but another athlete that studies all styles and really immerses himself in the business. And great opportunity for Palace to expose himself here to a brand new audience as part of Lucha Fiesta.
Yep, very true.
Reversal by Brien. Palace tip up and over. Deep arm drag, nicely done. Even Steve Kern would be proud of that one.
Brien looking for the tag, nowhere near his corner. Great job by the Plague of a Million Hairs.
And Gory,
To keep it up, to bite? I was going to say to cut off the ring.
they cut off an artery.
At least take a good chunk out of a bicep.
And that bloodlust of Gory comes into play. Gory is just the physical and visual manifestation of an evil that has grown inside him for many years.
You don't ask why the darkness spreads. You don't ask why the plague kills. You don't ask why Gory glories.
Gory's traveled to Mexico before in the past. He's competed for Chelonga Mask. He's been to Monterrey and Coacalco in his career.
And a headbutt by Palace right to the exposed ribs.
And Palace taking over where Gory left off, but reversal by Patrick. Nobody there in the corner. Leo got countered, and the speed of Palace for a moment gave him a reprieve, but the Blondes had an answer on the rebound.
Double clothesline. A very classic 80s move.
Without question. And the Blondes slow the pace, cut the ring off, and have chosen to isolate Andrew Palace from his corner. And a little bit of shades of Gory there with the biting by Leo Brien.
Yeah, very true. But when you get the opportunity, you take it. Kruger doesn't have the same thirst for blood that Gory does. So
I think Gory learned a lot of his ways watching Freddy Krueger, and then took it to a new level. And Gory a shot for his troubles.
And the Dirty Blondes taking advantage of Gory's anger, turning it against him. Or at least turning it against Andrew Palace.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's hurting Gory as well. Only 2 count that time. Gory's got this unbridled rage. He can't do anything about it. Can't get into the ring. And Gory's held several tag team championships throughout the area, easy for me to say. But never with Palace.
Nope.
And never have they been on the same page before. So this is a time where really that makeshift allegiance is going to be tested more so than ever.
Very true. However, as I said before, they are aware of each other. So they know the limitations and the expectations that they can look at. They at least have a blueprint as to what their tag team could be.
Well, one knows the other's tough for sure because they have had many ring wars against one another as Palace attempts to win the pace. Couple of ducks, and Palace walked right into the high knee. I noticed that Patrick immediately puts his body between Palace and Palace's corner so Palace can't catch him off guard.
Smart cutoff. And you and I have talked before about about Gory being perhaps the toughest individual we've ever seen.
Very tough, and again, much like a couple of athletes we've talked about earlier, very, very underrated. Gory, he's been to Mexico, he's been to Canada, he's been all over the U.S., but doesn't get the headlines that perhaps he deserves, as now down in for the cover, 2 count only. You look at guys like Facade and Kincaid, and certainly their reputation, their resume is rising leaps and bounds. DJ Z, who Gory trained with when they were both teenagers, certainly has seen his success grow all over the world. Gory, to me, is good enough to be in the same camp, the same ring, the same sentence as any of those men.
Oh, easily. As a matter of fact, DJ Z has mentioned that he initially felt intimidated by Gory's athletic ability, and thus decided he would push as much of his personality forward to try and get some of the spotlight that he was worried Gory would take.
As Palace has been able to create some distance between himself and his opponents. But can Palace get to Gory? Palace is reaching. Oh! Patrick trips up Gory, falls off the apron. They are as good of a tag as you're going to get without actually getting one. And the Blondes showing that cohesion and chemistry, and are almost able to put Palace away.
The Dirty Blondes have been textbook tag team.
You got to wonder how much more Palace has left in his system. Palace is very resilient. He can withstand a lot of pain. We've seen that over the years in this area. However, look out. What does Palace have left? We may find out. Duck underneath, tag to Gory. New Age Plague ready to infect Lucha Fiesta. Oh, he got caught.
Oh,
But he got hungry. Gory fighting away at Brien and then connects with a DDT.
swing around DDT.
On top for 2. And then Patrick charges in. Gory. Oh, shotgun drop kick by Palace. And Gory the clothesline. Targets between the ropes. Maximum impact. There was no resistance between Gory and his foe. And then with the lung blower connecting. Gory on top. And the Blondes save one another again. Leo Brien gets involved.
I was gonna say Leo Brien had to get in there.
Palace set for the ride.
Oh,
Double spine buster could do it, but Gory with a save.
almost a double Alabama slam.
Yeah. And that, from what I understand, is the specialty of the Dirty Blondes. That would have done this matchup in for sure, if not for the interruption.
Well, Gory saw the dire straits that Palace was in. Oh,
Gory and Palace put the brakes on. The Blondes collide.
Gory to his feet. Oh,
QAS, a sunset bomb, but the assist from Palace gets the bigger man over, but not enough.
oh. And Gory. Oh,
Gory to Pescado.
Palace struggling to his feet.
Palace and Patrick center ring. Palace trying to navigate the big man. O'Connor rolling. As a cheap shot from the outside by Brien. Palace is pinned. The referee gets in. He's none the wiser. He missed all that. There's a handful of trunks, and the Dirty Blondes just stole it.
It's the advantage of being in a tag team.